Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, Georgia Christian Business Network. We are so excited to come to you live today. We kind of had some crazy things happen this week between Miss Lisa's schedule and my schedule, but I'm so happy we're able to be here together today to wrap up our series on life insurance awareness. I'm Kaylee Payton, the teacher of finances, and I have Miss Lisa with me today, Miss Lisa Bailey. And we are going to talk about some products that a lot of people don't realize are even a life insurance product necessarily. They are called ancillary products. I hate saying that words, but that's what they are called. They can consist of cancer policies, critical illness, so that would be cancer, heart attack, stroke. We have long term care policies, we have disability policies, all the different types of things that typically you get with your work insurance coverage, you can get independently outside of that. And you get to keep it forever, no matter what job you go to. So they're very, very beneficial. They are, like I said, they're kind of like one of those unspoken products you don't really think about, but they're very nice to have. I'm going to start off real quick and just kind of give you an idea of how you can utilize them on top of a life insurance policy. And then I'm going to let Miss Lisa come in and if she has any questions or gives and any extra advice on it. But one thing you can do is if you have a life insurance policy, whether it be term or whole life, we've talked about and we've explained to you guys that you can have critical illness, cancer built into those policies. But what happens is if you tap into that, then it's going to affect your whole death benefit. Now, if you have a policy that stands alone on its own, like a cancer policy, you can actually claim that in the case that you were diagnosed with cancer and then never have to use that life insurance portion of it. Keep your full benefit, keep growing that cash value if you have a whole life policy, and then just utilize your cancer benefit. They're also really great in situations where I'm going to give you an example. I have a family member that was diagnosed with lupus at a very young age, in her 20s. And right now, finding a term or whole life is very difficult because of the fact of the type of lupus that she was diagnosed with. And so, what I particularly do as an independent agent is I will write a critical illness policy because that's going to cover her cancer, heart attack, stroke, any type of illness that may come about, but we'll also write an accidental policy in there. So that gives her both types of coverages without having to do the life insurance policy because unfortunately she doesn't qualify for it. So there's a lot of different ways that you can utilize these, and they're very beneficial to have just in your back pocket because you never know when something is going to happen or what could possibly happen. Another one's called hospital indemnity plans. Miss Lisa, you know about them? They're
I've
great.
heard of them.
Yeah. So hospital indemnity plans are great because you know what happens? We have to go to the hospital unexpectedly. And when we do, what happens is they will give you a cash value for every day that you're in the hospital. And so that can help with co-payments that you may have to pay. It can help with bills that come later on. It can just help with travel expenses. So there's a lot of little extra added benefits that you can get from these that, like I said, most people don't know about. And really and truly, they're pretty affordable. I mentioned the way I would help my family member that has lupus. I actually did quotes on today, so I have it right here beside me. But her accidental, we could do like 400,000 in accidental for her with what you call a return of premium. So meaning over her 20 years of having this type of policy, if she didn't have to ever use it, she would get all of her premiums given back to her at the end of her policy. And that for a $400,000 coverage amount, we could do it for like $40 a month. And then we would also do that $100,000 in critical illness, and it's about $50 a month. So for $80, she has coverage in both areas just in case of emergency or a situation, life happens and things happen to her. So there are plenty of different options and ways that you can utilize these types of products depending on your circumstances and the situation you're in. All right, Miss Lisa, you want to add anything?
Okay. Just to be honest, I'm not very familiar with these policies. I have heard of them, but I have never written one myself. Now, last night I talked to you all about annual reviews, So actually how I came across these type of policies is I was reviewing one of my clients' existing policies. And it was exactly what you're saying. It was one of these ancillary policies where
Yeah.
it would just cover if she had a stroke, Then she had one that was a stroke, and then she had another one that was heart attack, and then she had another one that was hospitalization, right? But this was a older client. So my question to you, Callie, is this more suitable for a younger individual than a older individual? Because her premiums was pretty high, because
Mhm.
this lady was actually paying about $500 altogether in life insurances. And she was like, I'm just paying too much for life insurance. And I was like, well, let me take a look. And then that's why I found three of her policies for just for these type of things. So, in your opinion, would you think it's better for a younger individual or older individual?
That's a really great question. Really and truly, I believe it is based on the person's situation. So in her situation, if she's able to qualify for a life insurance plan that's less than $500 a month, then absolutely I would go with a whole life policy, depending on how much cover she had, and what she was looking for. Why was it added on to, like, she had a term or whole life and then the extra products, or was it that's strictly what she had?
It was individual policies.
Just individual policies. Yeah, so in
Hmm.
that type of situation I definitely would look at trying to get her in something more affordable with the
Hmm.
same amount of coverage, just because if you just happen to get sick because you got COVID, for example, that's not going to be covered under critical, chronic, or any of those types of things. So there is some gray areas that fall into these types of policies. So I do not recommend that being the only thing you have, unless that's the only thing you can get. Because there's
Hmm.
people out there. I've worked with people that have felonies, for example. And if you know anything about that, they struggle to be able to get qualified for a term policy or a whole life policy. They have a particular waiting period they have to set out. And so if they're wanting it right now, they want some sort of coverage today, and they don't want to wait the 5 or 10 years, then this would be a situation where you could take these and put them together, and that be the type of insurance they have for that time being. I don't recommend it as a long term, this is my life insurance plan. Really and truly, these are going to be more like their supplementals. These are going to be added on to what you already have to help you preserve what you have and then have extra things for later on, or, those unexpected events. Does that answer your question?
Okay. Yeah, it does. So that brings me to another question. Uh, just say, for instance, individual is trying to make a decision whether they wanted to do these add-on type policies.
Mhm.
Would let's say if you're looking at their health, because these are particular policies geared toward the health.
Yes.
So if they did not have a history of cancer or stroke or heart attack in their family, or in their immediate family anyway, would you still suggest this type of policy, or you would only maybe suggest this type of policy for people that did have a history of these health issues in their family?
That's a good question too. Again, it just depends on their budget too. Like,
Right.
what are they, what are they able to spend? What can they get as far as a permanent policy? And then going from there. And so really and truly, when you're looking at cancer, 1 in 2 every male individual. So you have a 50% chance of getting cancer as a male. And having that cancer policy, I mean, I highly recommend a cancer policy for anybody nowadays, just because of the fact that it's expensive. And if you survive cancer, but you take out your cancer benefits from your main policy, now you're going to have very minimal benefits available for when you do pass later on in life. And with
Mhm.
that, you're not going to be able to apply for another term policy or another whole life policy to get some extra added benefits because you had cancer, because they're going to go back
Mhm.
on that waiting period. So I definitely, on cancer plans, I recommend that everybody has a cancer plan, just because of the fact that you can leave your permanent policy alone and then utilize that to help pay for all of your bills, your travel expenses, all the things that come with treatment, radiation, all those different things. Because the majority of the time on your cancer plans, if it's an invasive type cancer, they're going to pay 100%, and it's a cash, like it's a lump sum. You submit it, the companies that I use, you submit it, and they will pay out a cash lump sum based on your diagnosis. So if you have $200,000, you're going to get a check for your diagnosis based on that 200,000. Skin cancer,
okay.
things like that. If it's external, like skin cancer, where it's just the remove, they go and take off pieces. They have different percentages, like a 25%, 75%, 50% that they'll pay on different types. But if it's like an invasive type cancer, lung cancer, kidney, liver, all of those things, it's a cash benefit lump sum. And so it really
Oh,
helps with all the extra things. Therefore, you can leave your other policy alone. Because I love the
okay.
living benefits in regular policies. Like, I love them and I think they're really great. But if you can afford to add on that supplemental to the back end and have that there so you don't have to touch the other one, then that's always really great to have.
Okay, so are the most of these type policies are temporary policies, their term or the whole?
Most of them are temporary, but some of them you can do
Like,
full. Mutual of Omaha, for example, their critical illness, you can do lifetime on it.
oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
And is there a maximum amount of coverage you can get?
Mutual of Omaha, I know, goes up to, I believe, 300,000, but a lot of them are 100.
Uh-oh,
Typically,
I lost
100.
you.
Oh no. So I know that, like I said, I have a carrier that will go up to 250 to 300,000. A lot of them cap out at 100 or 150,000.
Mm, okay, okay. Well, yeah, that's good to know. That's good to know. I think any type of extra policy, like Callie was saying, if you can afford it, it's definitely a good idea to have it because you rather have it than not have it, right?
Absolutely.
Especially the way the things are going these days, we just never know what we are likely to get. Um, so yeah, this is some good information. I think that's all the questions I had. I tell you what, I have, even as a life insurance professional myself, I have learned something during this month of Life Insurance Awareness Month because I tell you, I'm always learning different things, and this products that you're talking about today is definitely a learning experience for me. So I'm gonna have to go see which one of my insurance companies that I'm appointed with actually offers these type of policies
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, they're pretty awesome. I think they're really great to have. They're great to know about. There's different, we've really focused more on like the cancer critical side of it so far. But they, like I said, the hospital indemnity ones, they have some that are accident, like not accidental death, but accident only. And I know my parents had that for us whenever we were kids. And it was really nice because I was prone to breaking my bones. I broke both of my wrists
Oh,
degrees and things like that. And they would file a claim and they would get, money back for those accidents. So if you have kids, like, I have a family of 4 boys and a girl, and they're all active. They play sports, they're in dance, they do all kinds of different things. So at any given time, we may be in the emergency room because of a broken bone or something. And those types of
right.
plans are really great to have. The accidentals, where they're actually like specific to accidental, and they don't, not that typically when we say accidental you think of accidental death, but this is like just a accident only policy. And covers burns, different, like first degree, second degree, third degree burns, like any type of accident that could happen just in your daily life. They have coverage for that. And I don't know the totals off the top of my head, on those, because they're not as common, but they are really great to have in your back pocket too if you have like little ones, kids. Helps with those.
Right. Yeah, so that almost sounds like a supplement to your health insurance, right?
It
If
does.
you got health insurance at your job and you have this policy as well, your health insurance is only going to pay a portion of that
Correct.
bill. And so you could pull from this secondary policy to pay the
Mhm.
rest of it.
Yeah, to pay your deductibles or payments or
Okay.
anything that you have left. And you actually have to be health licensed. I have my life and health license, and so you actually have to have health to
Okay.
promote products. But yes, it is something you can tie onto it, and that's the same thing as those hospital indemnities that I mentioned earlier. And that's same thing if you're in the hospital. It covers different procedures or the time that you've been in the hospital, the days and the longevity of care. You get different amounts per days and
Okay.
times that you're in there, and you can supplement those to your insurance plans.
Oh, that's good to know because I don't have the health portion license, so that's probably why I have never done it. I don't do health insurance. But I'm glad you said that, Kylie, because someone reached out to me from this group, GCBN. So if you're catching this on the replay, Kylie does health insurance, correct?
Mhm.
Are you
Yes.
licensed in Georgia for health?
Nope, but I can.
Okay. So reach out to Callie for your health insurance needs as well. Because I
Yes.
didn't realize that. That's something else. See, I'm gonna have to get up on my game, girl. I gotta go back and get that health insurance license now.
Girl, yes. I do it all. I do health, I do retirement, I do life. I actually can do Medicare, and so I do it all. So that's it. The
Oh
other thing
wow.
is we have life insurance month that's coming to an end, but
Yeah.
next month starts our open enrollment for your anybody that's T65 or 65 and older. And then November, make sure you're aware that you have your open enrollment for Marketplace. So if you have the Marketplace insurance, or you have it and you just don't know what to do, I do all of that. So I like having the health side. The health side's very beneficial. It's nice to have because it gives you a wide variety
Nice.
of everything that you can offer
Wow.
help with.
Well, that's
So
good to know. That is good to know, honey. Let me tell you, I really appreciate you doing this with me this month. This has been so much fun, and I even learned something. So listen, y'all
absolutely.
out there, if y'all learned anything from these series of information that me and Callie gave to y'all these last 2 weeks, please reach out to us. Reach out to Callie if you need some help, or if you know someone in Texas and they need life insurance or whatever. Reach out to either one of us. We would be so happy to help you because I know it's her passion. It is my passion. This is my passion and my purpose. This is my ministry work, mainly to make sure that everyone that I come in contact with has life insurance. And then if they don't have it, why they don't have it, and it's normally because they're not managing their money correctly or they can't afford it. But me and Callie both can show you how you can afford it. Because guess
Yes.
what? You cannot afford not to have it just in case something happens. So, Callie, I wanted to also shout you out because I think you just started a podcast,
Yes.
girl. I
Thank
listened to it yesterday and it is fabulous. So, girl, go ahead and shout it out so everybody can listen to
yes.
your podcast.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Miss Lisa. You're the best. I have to say the same thing. I'll tell you about my podcast in just a second, but I have enjoyed this so much. I've loved being able to I'm new to the GCBN network, and so I have really been able to get to know Miss Beth very well. But it's been very nice being able to network with you and just build a relationship through this. So it's been very, very beneficial, and I've really enjoyed it. I launched my podcast this week, and y'all, I've been working. I say working. I put all of it together months ago, and I just never hit play. I was like, not because I'm like, I do these lives on my personal pages and business pages all the time, but I hit play this week. It is called the Legend Caller Squad, and it's called the Legend Caller Squad because I believe my mission is that everybody was put in this world, on this earth, in this place to be a legend, and sometimes we have to figure it out. We don't always know why, what's going to make us legendary, right? And so that's where the caller side comes from it. So it's legendary, or it's legend and scholar put together, because you have to be a scholar to learn about yourself, to grow as an individual, and to just maximize the potential of your life. And it's on Spotify. It's on all the things, Apple Podcast, all of them. I actually posted another episode today. I'm kind of on fire for it right now. Like, things are just coming in my, I'm putting it out there, and I got a lot of things that brew in this mind of mine all the time, and I just want to share it with the world. And it's going to be pretty much all mindset things. I'll talk financials on there some, but really and truly it's just going to be for mindset and just helping you grow as an individual and live into your maximum potential. So
I love it. I'm so excited for you. Congratulations. I'm glad you hit the play button, girl. Listen, I'm gonna be out there too, trying to get me a podcast going.
Well, thank you.
Well, congratulations. And that's all I have. If you want to close us out, honey. We got any questions in the chat? I can't see the chat.
Nope, I didn't see any
on
come
Facebook.
I don't
Okay.
see it. But if y'all do have questions, please feel free, throw them in the chat. We'll put our calendar links in there. Reach out to us directly through DM, whichever, however you want to reach out to us. We're here. And we would love to answer any questions you might have. If you catch us on replay, same thing, put them in there. Miss Lisa and I, we're monitoring them and we're keeping up with the comments that come through. So, but again, we just want to thank you so much for joining in with us the last 2 weeks. It's been very fun for us. We both have learned, we've got to grow as individuals, and that's, why we do it. We want to add value to you and impact what you're doing in everyday life. So thank y'all for joining, and I hope you guys have an awesome weekend.
Happy weekend. Bye.